Hi guys, I'm Nate from Good Mayhem Racing, and today I want to take a break from our channel's main content and talk about my thoughts on the current situation with the Titan submarine. That submarine and the 5 people on it have been lost around the Titanic. That sucks. That's terrible, and to be candid, that's terrifying. The thing that's really scary about submarines is that it is a coffin with life support. If the life support fails, you will be buried there. That is super humbling to think about, and to be quite candid, I think the way that they manufactured the submarine was subpar. Just from the videos I've seen, from the literature that the company provides online, I don't think that was a good idea. And yes, they said it was a research vessel. They were right. I am concerned with the materials it was made out of, and on top of that, I'm concerned with the style of controls that they used. Again, I'm not a submarine guy. I just work in oil and gas, and a lot of the products that we manufacture go to the ocean floor as deep as these guys talk about. So the kind of manufacturing and scrutiny that we have on materials like that are severe, and most of the time it is steel or some derivative thereof. The submarine was made out of primarily carbon fiber, titanium, and fiberglass. That white shell on the outside is fiberglass. The main cylindrical hull is the carbon fiber, and it's very thick carbon fiber, by the way. And there's the titanium cap that goes on top of it. The titanium cap is nothing more than a titanium elliptical head, and it has a viewport at the end of it so you can look and see around. That's how they would have seen the Titanic. The type of bolt face connection that is on the titanium bulkhead, there's like a ring of titanium that's been bonded to the carbon fiber, and then the elliptical head titanium bolts to that interface. The connection that they're using is, from what I could see visually in their photos, is nothing more than a serrated pressure gasket. It's a low pressure gasket that you would normally see on flanges, for example on a weld neck flange or a blind flange or something like that, and it is gonna only be rated to maybe around 5,000 psi, maybe 7,000 psi max working pressure, not operating pressure. Notice the distinction between those two. Around the depths that they would be in the ocean, they would be exposed to around 5,000 psi at 12,000 feet, give or take. It's all hydrostatic pressure stuff, right? You can just do that equation and calculate it out. But there are higher pressure rated gaskets that could be used for that application. However, they would definitely fall in the territory of a weight penalty. These guys were advertising making this thing out of lightweight materials and lightweight manufacturing methods, and those materials themselves are sound absorbent. Titanium is relatively known as a sound absorbing metal. That's why the Soviets used it so much in the manufacture of a lot of their hunter-killer subs in the Cold War. Carbon fiber is also a sound-absorbing material. It's great for dampening vibrations, and for fiberglass, it's much the same thing as carbon fiber, just on a lower level of performance. If fiberglass is here and titanium is here, let's say that your carbon fiber is way above that in sound absorption. So the outside of the hull, the vast majority of the hull, is made out of carbon fiber. Remember that. So when you are trying to make noise inside the submarine for other people to hear, you are tapping against, pounding against sound deadening materials. Like, imagine, I mean, it's not nearly this severe, but imagine hammering a pillow versus hammering wood. Like, hammering the pillow is a lot louder, right? So there are steels, there are materials that can transfer sound a lot better than any of those three, and those would be a much better material to manufacture the submarine out of. Told. If your goal is to be found, you want to have material that can reflect the sound. It can be shaped in a way that you could even amplify it, or at least transfer it, right? Like if you want to make noise from inside the submarine, you want to be heard from the outside, make it out of a metal that can reverberate with those frequencies and make it easier to hear. That's with passive sonar. And with active sonar, if it's not reflecting the sound very well, the active sonar is not going to work. And that is brutally loud. Like those pings that you hear in submarine movies, the real life ones are like 235 decibels. Your ears start rupturing around 160, and you start getting permanent hearing loss at 130. So it is dozens of times louder than gunshots. So that's the main reason why they're not using pings or active sonar in this way, because if they bombarded the ocean floor with sound, it would have so much noise and reverberation or echoes that it would mask any taps that the folks might be able to actually do in the water. That and active sonar is great when you're close. Like if you had a recovery submarine in the area that could do an active sonar, find them and gather them and scoop them up, that'd be great. The problem with submarines like that, those submarines are not designed to save submarines. They're designed to save people in submarines. So, like one escape hatch opens, the people escape from one submarine to the other, and they leave the submarine behind. These people are physically bolted inside of the submarine. Like, the news outlets say that they were locked from the outside. That is a brutal understatement. These guys are bolted into a high-pressure vessel. But in my opinion, not high enough, because something failed. Something failed enough for their life support to be lagging behind. Their communications failed. They lost power. Okay, how did they lose power? Where is the power? Why couldn't they salvage it? These things are terrifying, and to lose power in a submarine is really, really bad. That's why I think that the lack of communication issues indicates a loss of power. Man, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. So, I hope they're found, but you gotta realize they are in a budget DIY stealth sub. The materials it's made out of inherently reduce the effectiveness of sonar, both passive and active. So, if they are found, if at all they are found, it is with a lot of luck, it is with a lot of ingenuity and creativity on the search and rescue guys. Like, my heart pounds just thinking about it. That is crazy stuff that we are seeing right now. If they can be rescued, if they are rescued, that is a true miracle. To be quite candid, there is no amount of ingenuity between here and there that can save them. Humanity, I mean, God's got to do some work in there. There's an act of God that's got to happen to make this salvageable. For the kind of stuff that we humans have made to save other people, none of it was made to go down 12,000 feet. I wish it was. And if the rescue equipment is even available, it's probably not designed to save us up, just the people on it. So I'm Nate from Good Man Racing. I'll see you out in the desert, if not my garage. And may those people be found. And Lord willing, may they be rescued. See ya.